Hey guys, Robert Blackman. Quick little training today on a Saturday. I want to talk about why most network marketers fail, in my opinion. I've been in the business for 35 years. I'm almost done with my brand new book. So this is kind of bringing up, going through the book and the chapters and, editing and stuff, kind of going through when I first started the business years ago and what really caused me to succeed versus what caused me to fail. And so I want to talk about what makes most network marketers fail. I also want to start giving everyone I've been getting a lot of people asking me what my reading list is, what some suggestions. So one of the books that I'm reading right now is called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. As you can tell, it's a pretty decent, thick book, but you can tell I've kind of had it for a while, right? It is a spiritual book, so if you're not a spiritual person, you'll probably be turned off by it, or you may really need it if you're not a spiritual person, because I believe it has a lot of great wisdom in it, whether you're spiritual or not, that I think that you could tap into. But it does quote Bible verses. I just want to give all you people the warning. It talks about God and stuff like that. But it's a fabulous book, and you have to have faith in this business. And this book right here has helped me build my faith in mankind and in myself, and more importantly, also network marketing. So anyway, that's recommendation today. The chapter I was talking about in my brand new book was a chapter on belief, and about how I had to get pissed off. I was working at my corporate job, $40,000 a year, and I just came up with the excuse all the time, I don't have any time. I don't have any money. When my paycheck, around $700 showed up every Friday, it was already spent and accounted for. Maybe I had $50 mathematically in the checkbook by Sunday night that we could go out to eat. Or I could go to the grocery store and buy a T-bone or some hamburger or chicken. And the rest of the week it was rice and beans and mac and cheese and fish sticks, chicken nuggets. Just kind of what do we got in the freezer type thing. So there's so many ways to build a downline today, but here's what you have to become an expert at. You have to become an expert at showing the plan, STP. You have to learn through even all your own insecurities, your own doubts and disbeliefs, that you have to be able to show a presentation about your product, your service, and also your opportunity. Now, that doesn't mean you have to show it personally. There has been never a time ever like there is right now to where you can say, go watch this video, and right now it's 10 o'clock. Can you watch that this afternoon? And what's a good time to follow up with you today? And we'll see if you want additional information. Let's see if we have a fit or a match. I personally don't show a lot of plans anymore on my little board back here. I've got it, so when somebody comes over here, I can show a plan. I do trainings on that up close, draw circles and show the organization. I map that out for myself for the week, and then I have it posted up over here where you can't see as far as what my goals are. That's why I love that thing. That's why I use it. You always see it blank, but it's being used every single day. So what I said to myself years ago, because my dad had a printing company and I worked for him, in a family business, we worked 7 days a week. I didn't work 40 hours, I worked 80. So I said to myself, because I was so frustrated, I would get a day off and go to a convention, or I'd get on a conference call and somebody just broke a new pin level, somebody that I thought was just an idiot or a chump, or somebody that I'd listen to him talk and I go, that person just went diamond? That person just made a $70,000 out of the bonus pool? That person has 3,000 people in their group? How in the world did they do it? I'm just as good as they are. Or I may even think that I'm better than they are as far as skill sets go. Not as a better person, but just skill sets. I know more about the company. I've talked to that person before. They don't even know what the product sells for. So that was my plight, is I wasn't showing the plan, and I became a negative Nilly on everything. I overanalyzed. Well, if they just raised the price, if they'd equalize the BV, if they'd lower the price, if they lowered the BV requirements, if I could just get people in at this, Man, if they would just do this with the auto ship. So I became a broke expert. Robert Blackman, broke expert. I knew everything, but I made no money. And all the people that knew less than me were riding off into the sunset on vacations. And that pissed me off. Okay? I had to get pissed off. Not at them. I first got mad at them, and then I got mad at myself. And I go, you know, you're not doing the business. You know, you're half-assing the business. This is me talking to myself in the mirror, brushing my teeth, and I'd be going, you know, why don't you just quit? Just get out. Why are you frustrating yourself? Just, you know, your dad's going to retire, and you'll take that plant over. Then I started thinking, I go, well, I don't really want his job. As much as I loved him and I loved the printing company, I started thinking about, well, I don't want to do what Dad does, because look at him. He's in his 60s and he's still at the plant. Hint, Robert, you're in your 20s. You want to really be him? And that was hard because that was my father. And so there was a part of my brain that says, yeah, I want to be your dad because I love my dad. And the other part of me goes, there's no way in hell I'm going to be down at the plant, you know, when I'm 60, asking people, where's Johnny? Where's Billy? How come press 13's not running? There's no way in the world I wanted to do that. So I had a come to Jesus meeting with myself. And I said, okay, I understood the conversation up here. I understood I can only BS myself so long. And so I made myself a deal. This was for me. I go, okay, broke expert, let's make a deal. Why don't you start showing some plans? When am I going to show those? I worked out the plant 80 hours a week. Okay. Dad doesn't want any network marketers down at the plant. He's already told me that. You can't ever hold any meetings here. I don't want those pyramid things in my plant. I don't want you running off printing customers. So I started making phone calls. And I started making like 5 calls a day, and I'd be on the phone going, please don't answer. Please go to voicemail. And if somebody would answer at the very beginning of my career, I'd just hang up. Some of them would call back, and I'd go, I'm not going to talk to them. That's how scared I was to talk to somebody about network marketing. You may be able to relate to that. And it had nothing to do. I'm 6'3", 220 pounds, quarterback in high school, basketball player, all-stater. All this confidence, could tear apart a printing press and put it back together. Could sell in front of a Fortune 500 board at Phillips 66 $1 million contracts for printing. But I can't get on the phone and call somebody about a $100 deal. All right? So that was what made me started saying to myself, well, maybe network marketing isn't for you because it's so uncomfortable. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever said that to yourself? Well, maybe this business model isn't for me. I need to find something else where I feel good. That's not so hard. And I actually like myself when I'm doing it. Then I heard a gentleman by the name of Dale Calvert say, it's not supposed to feel good. You're not going to be comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable for 2 to 5 years. And if you can't handle that, then just get out and go back to your darn job. And he's right. It's not supposed to feel good. So I made myself a bet. And I go, I bet you can't do network marketing because you're such a wimp. Okay? You're scared. Come on, man. So I go, so the macho side of me said, I'm going to call 1,000 people a month. And I got that number by saying, how many people a day could I call at work on my lunch hour and breaks? Or after everybody left and we went to dinner, I could make phone calls. And that was 50 people a day. I timed it. It was about an hour's worth of phone calls, an hour and a half manually dialing. I could call maybe 10, 15 people at a time in a row. And then I had a printing business, so I would mail them a sales letter. I never tried to sell them on the phone because I was too scared. I just wanted to verify their mailing address. You had shown an interest in making money from home. Are you still interested, yes or no? And if you are, I'm going to drop an information pack in the mail to you. This was way before video. And I didn't have any money to put in DVDs, or this was actually when they had VHSs, all right? So I didn't have money for the VHSs to drop them in the mail or a DVD. So I dropped them a sales letter, and all I had to come up with was the postage. The envelopes and the printing and the phone service was free. So I had no excuses there. So I go, okay, I'm going to call 50 people a day, and I'm going to do it for a year. And if this business doesn't work by then I'm gone. Then I can look myself in the mirror and I can go, you did it. You're not a wimp. You busted your butt for a year. You called 12,000 people and it's not working. Get out. And there was comfort to that. There was almost a part of me at that particular time in my state of mind, I was hoping and praying it wouldn't work. You got to think about that for a second. I was anticipating the 12,000 phone calls already being over, and I was romanticizing that in my head going, yeah, this will be great. I don't ever have to worry about it again because this isn't going to work. There's no way network marketing could ever work for Robert Blackman. That's for everybody else. It's not because I'm a loser. I'm an MLM loser. I've already tried it, and I really hadn't. I just been in several programs and did nothing in any of the programs and blamed the business model, blamed my sponsor, blamed the pricing point of the products. It was a stair-step breakaway. I didn't even have anybody to stair-step on. There was nobody in my group. Okay, so it was mental gymnastics. It was what I call MLM psychosis. I had it. I lived it right here. So there was a part of me that said, look, put up or shut up, man. Either get in this business or get the hell out of it because you're driving me crazy. So the tough guy in me said, I'm going to call 1,000 people a month. The wimp in me goes, what the hell are you doing? You can't even call 5 people before you hang up on them if they answer. If they call back, you don't answer. How are you going to call 1,000 in a month? So I had that battle, that internal battle. The strong Robert versus the weak Robert. The strong Robert won out because I was so mad. I was so sick and tired of that internal struggle. I was tired of $700 a week. I was tired of not being able to go anywhere. I was tired of working 7 days a week. I was tired of my dad looking at me and going, you know what, I may retire in maybe 20 years. And I'm going, what? Get out of here, man. I can run this plant now. So I was stuck. And to me, the only escape pod that I had on the ship was network marketing. So you have to understand the immaturity that I had. And as Dale Calvert calls it, I started out unconsciously incompetent, which means I didn't know what I didn't know. And then I became consciously incompetent, which means that I now knew what I didn't know. That I wasn't doing the business. And then I became consciously competent. I consciously knew what I had to do. I was confident about my sales approach and my number and my sales goals and my targets and plans. And I wanted to show to myself, prove to myself that I could actually follow the system. So I created my own system that fit within my lifestyle and what I was doing. That was over 25 years ago, millions of dollars ago. So needless to say, when I got on the phone and I started mailing sales letters out, the sales letter was the presentation. I'd have people call back, say, hey, I got your letter in the mail. And I go, okay. And they go, well, I got some questions. And I'd go, okay, great. Because I didn't want them to, well, give me a presentation. Didn't know how to do a presentation. Just read the letter and join. Okay. So through that process, I gained confidence. And I realized that I could break even on the mailing and even make a little bit of money with the fast start bonuses. For every 100 letters I would mail out, I started signing up 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And then I realized that if I called people back after I mailed the letter, it went up to 10 to 11 people per 100 mailed. So that's when I started having fun with the business, and I started realizing that network marketing could work for Robert Blackman. So saying all that to say this, I call